Hey guys, this is part 2 of my labor and delivery story. And in the last one I was just getting into leaving for the hospital. So Christopher is running around with his, very nervous, trying to get our stuff together because I was not fully packed yet. So all of you who are doing your hospital bag videos, at like before you're 30 weeks pregnant, good idea, because once labor starts, it doesn't stop. It does not wait for anyone. I didn't care what I had in my bag. I just wanted to get out and get to the hospital and get prepped to have this baby. So I just said, just grab my bags. I don't care what's in it. I can always send somebody back to get whatever I need. So we grabbed the bags, head downstairs. My brother already went to get the car, and we're heading to the hospital. And if you're on the East Coast, you know that on the 16th it was thundering, pouring, raining. It was the absolute worst. Going down the FDR in labor, having contractions, scariest thing. So scary. Oh, Phoenix. Okay. And it was crazy trying to get to the hospital. There wasn't a lot of traffic. The traffic was moving very well, but the rain was so blinding. At one point, a pickup truck or huge SUV drove in a puddle and splashed water all over the windshield. My brother couldn't see a thing, and my mom was saying she was just so scared. She just wanted to get to the hospital safe. So we finally get to the hospital in all of my misery, and rush to the emergency room, get a wheelchair. I'm sitting in the flimsy wheelchair with no back support, just lower back support. And we get to the security guard, and she's like, oh, well, what's wrong with her? And Christopher's like, she's in labor. So she said, oh, just go around and go to the 5th floor, 4th floor, whatever she said. I really wasn't paying attention. So we got up to the labor and delivery floor, and it was so calm, and it was so serene, and everyone was just so la-da-da. And I'm thinking, this can't be labor and delivery. It was just so quiet and so fine. I'm happy it was quiet because all of their attention was on me. And I heard maybe 1 or 2 other people in labor, and that was it. And I was very surprised. So they get me, I'm sitting out in the hallway waiting for them to admit me into one of the rooms. And I told the nurse that I pre-registered at online, and they said, oh, we don't have any of your registration forms. We just know that we were expecting you because your OB called. So I said, oh, just great. And then another contraction comes. And this is all probably about, I would say this is about 10:30, 10:40. It's about 10:30 now. Actually, no, it's not 10:30. It's about, I would say it's about 9:45, 10 o'clock now. Or maybe even before 9:45, because we started heading to the hospital around 9:10. So maybe about 9:45 or so, we'll say that. So we finally get into the laboring room, and they say, okay, you have to take all your clothes off. And I'm like, oh, can I just lay down? I just want to lay down. So I managed, Christopher and my mom helped me get out of my clothes and into a gown. I get on the bed, and I'm scrunched up in the corner, just holding on to the rail. And at one point, the rail starts going, I'm holding on to the railing, and the bed back starts going down and down. And I'm like, stop pulling it down, keep it up. And the nurse says, well, let go of the railing. And I let go, and it stops. So they put me back into a good position, the position that I wanted. And they asked me, they start asking me registration questions, and my mom is just like, can that wait? Can she do it later? She has her insurance card, she has everything. Can it just wait? So after a few minutes of just saying wait, 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 they finally said, well, it can wait until after. And they didn't know how soon after because they hadn't checked me yet. So the nurse comes in and she says, oh, well, you're already 7 to 8 centimeters dilated. If you're in so much pain, do you want an epidural? And I was surprised because I thought after 7 you couldn't get an epidural. So I said, yes, 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 yes. And my mom said, no, she doesn't want an epidural. Her plan was not to have one. I'm like, well, I want one now. So they started telling me, well, if you want an epidural, we have to check your blood, especially because my platelet count was low. They had to check my blood. They had to call the anesthesiologist. They had to prep me for the epidural. At this point, I didn't even have an IV in my arm. So they started prepping me with IV in my arm, and the contractions just kept coming and coming and coming. Oh my gosh. And we had to push. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have to push, I have to push. And the nurse is like, just don't push because you're not ready yet. So I said, but I have to push, I have to push. And she said, okay, well, with the next contraction, she'll check me. So I tell her I'm having the next contraction, and she says, oh, well, let me check you. And she says, oh man, you're 9 to 10, you're already there, and I can feel the baby's head. So she says, okay, well, just try not to push. She calls the nurses, my OB is there, they start getting ready, and oh, she knows that's not it. Hold on a second. Phoenix is pacifying for us. Sorry. There you go. So they start prepping me. They start prepping themselves for delivery. They remove the little floor underneath, and when your body's telling you to push, you have no other choice but to push. It's not even you pushing. Like I said, well, I'm not pushing, but they're saying, stop, don't push, don't push. But when she was coming down, my body said, don't push. Yeah, right, I'm pushing. So my body was pushing. You have no other choice but to just push. They said, you can move your bowels, you can do anything, just don't push. I move my bowels a lot, just in case anyone was wondering, TMI, but I move my bowels a lot. And I push involuntarily about a few times, not a lot, but a few times when I just couldn't help it. And it was just, everything just happened so fast. They prepped themselves. They told me I think I gave like 5 good pushes, and then 5 sort of like pushing on my own. After that 5th push, after the 3rd push, they said, oh, her head is crowning, push again. So I started pushing again. she started coming out, her head came out, and they told me, okay, don't push. And they said, oh, the head's out. So then I pushed again, and her body, I gave one last strong, very strong push. You may be tired, you may think contractions are the absolute worst, but when they tell you to push to get your baby out, it's like a newfound energy. And it's all adrenaline just running through you. And I gave that one last strong push, and when they said she was out, I was just so relieved. And your body just, there's a letdown. All of the fluids come out, well, most of the fluids come out, and you just feel like you just feel so relieved because the pressure's not there anymore, the contractions aren't there anymore. And when they put her on me, and my mom said, it's a girl, she did not give the doctors a chance to say whether it was a girl or a boy, but she was saying, it's a girl. And I was thinking, a girl? Where did this girl come from? Christopher said, a girl? We thought we were having a boy. People thought that we knew what we were having. We had no idea if we were having a boy or girl. It was a complete surprise, but it was a pleasant surprise because we were still arguing over boy names, and we had our little Phoenix name here. So as they're finished, they're wiping her down, they put her on my chest, they keep wiping her down, and a few minutes later I'm still feeling slight contractions, and they're like, oh, it's okay, you just have to deliver the placenta now. And I'm like, I have to deliver something else. So they say, oh, it's right there, and then with the next contraction they just said, give a slight push. So I gave a slight push, another relief. That thing was so huge. So huge. And I said, well, I want to see it. I saw it was so huge. And luckily it was all still together, not in pieces. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this because the Phoenix is getting a little fidgety. So that's my labor and delivery video. I delivered her at 11:37 p.m. on April 16th. My water broke at 7:22 p.m. that day, and well, what is that, 4.5 hours of labor and delivery. So I was very blessed, and I'm so happy it wasn't a very long delivery. But I will tell you that if I did have a long delivery, and you know, I would just have to deal with it because it is by any means necessary. That's my motto. By any means necessary, I was gonna get her safe, get her here safely. So if I was in labor for 3 days, so be it. I'm in labor for 3 days. If they told me I had to have a C-section, so be it. I would have to have a C-section. So no matter what you're going through, no matter how long your labor is, no matter how great or terrible your labor or delivery story is, just know that it's by any means necessary to get your baby here. You don't want to put your baby in harm. You don't want to put yourself in harm. So whatever your midwife, whoever you have, your midwife, your doula, doctor, whoever, wherever you're giving birth, just know that your main objective is to get your baby here safe. So on that note, I'm gonna tend to my little Phoenix, and I will come to you guys with an after birth video and just let you know all of the procedures and all of what happened after the delivery of Phoenix and that huge placenta. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.